back to my channel. I hope that you're doing well. Welcome to another video and welcome back to a 24-hour readathon. I am very excited to be doing this 24-hour readathon. I'm hoping that this will give me the big push that I need to get some books off of my TBR, and I'm going to be doing this particular 24-hour readathon a little bit different than ones that I have done in the past. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be setting a timer for exactly 24 hours, and when I'm reading, the timer will continue to count down, and when I'm not reading, I will stop the timer to make sure that I'm actually reading a full 24 hours, but it also gives me an opportunity to sleep and to do things that I need to do around the house without wasting that time that could be used towards reading. I am still very pregnant, 9 months pregnant, so I'm trying to use this opportunity to get books done, but also understanding my body and my limits and knowing when it's time to step away. But I do want to read for a full 24 hours. So I'm hoping that this particular format of the 24-hour readathon will work better for me and give me an opportunity to get a lot of books done. Because I feel like with audiobooks and ebooks and everything like that, like I can get a lot of reading done in a full 24-hour span. So I'm really excited to see how this is going to work. I'm going to run this video all the way through the full 24 hours. So hopefully I can get some good content for you. I do have quite the TBR, so let's share that with you now. Okay, so I have a few set things on my TBR, and then if I manage to finish all of these things, which could happen, could not happen, depending on how fast I'm reading, I will mood read the rest of the 24 hours and just figure out what it is that I want to pick up. So the two most important books that I would like to finish in this 24 hours is Percy Jackson and The Last Olympian, the last book in the Percy Jackson series. The day that I'm filming this is the 1st of November, so this one was on my October TBR. I didn't get around to it, but I do want to finish out this series. Like, it's really important for me, so this one is high on my priority list to finish. We also have Heatwave, which is again on my October TBR that I didn't get around to, but again, I really do want to read this one. So I will be prioritizing those two particularly to finish up with these series because they're haunting me. Speaking of series, if I finish up a lot like Adios by Alexis Daria, I will complete this duology, so that would be great. And then sticking on the series realm, I would like to read what I have left of the Wicked Villain series by Hayley Robert. I do have access to all of the audiobooks available through Libby and Hoopla, so I want to read A Worthy Opponent, The Beast, The Sea Witch, and Queen Takes Rose. That is all the books left in this series. It is a completed series, so once I finish it up, I will be done. And completing series is really top priority for me. And getting some romances done is, always a good time. So those are the set books that I have on my TBR. Oh, also Challenge by Amy Dawes, only because I'm currently in the middle of it, and I think that I can finish it up relatively quickly. This is the first book in the Harris Brothers series. I have read books 4 and 5 in the series previously, and I wanted to go back and read the rest of the books in the series, hence why I started at book 1. So I'm not starting a series, I'm actually continuing a series with this one, so all of these books are sequels, and I'm hoping that I can get a lot of series done today. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this 24-hour readathon. I'm going to pop on an audiobook, go make myself some breakfast, take my dog out on a walk, but all the while, I'm going to be listening to audiobooks, so it's going to be a good time.
Too far away from my hometown. With my family I am bound. I stick by them till I'm in the ground. Resting on the myth of old. Stories I've been told. Secret places hidden where are gone now as far as I can tell. All I know is I'm on my way to become
started the first hour of this readathon, so far so good. I started with Percy Jackson and I'm on page 109, chapter 7. I have about 6 minutes until I hit a full hour, but it's time for coffee, so I figured I would talk through how I make my coffee because I do a lot of b-roll of it, but I never actually show you how I make it. It's very, very simple. I like to keep it easy and simple for myself, but it's delicious, so let me show you how I make it. So we have the Starbucks iced dark roast coffee. I have the Coffee Mate French vanilla, caramel drizzle, which is just the Torani brand. My usual pumpkin spice that I used for the pancakes this morning, and then whipped cream. I'm out of my smaller straws, so we're gonna use the big boba straw today, but basically what I do first is I take my caramel drizzle and I take it all over the cup, putting a little extra on the bottom so that when I suck it up with my straw, I can get some caramel. I bought this rather recently thinking I'm never actually going to use this caramel, and I literally use it every day. I use it on my pancakes, I use it on my coffee. I love it. And then from there, I fill up the ice because it's just easier to do it that way, so let me go get ice. Depending on the day and how much coffee I want to drink, I usually fill it about halfway, and then it's time for the coffee. It's almost time for a new bottle of this. I fill it up to about there with my coffee, and then I put in the creamer. Sometimes a taste test is required to figure out if enough creamer was added, but I am notorious for adding too much creamer. Today is definitely the case. Oh well. And then to top it off, I'm just going to top it off with whipped cream, which apparently is almost empty. I'm the only one that uses the whipped cream, so I don't mind licking off the top. Isaac doesn't like whipped cream, so. And then I just top it off with pumpkin spice. And there is my coffee that I drink almost every day unless I'm doing a chai tea or something, but it's delicious. I love it. And now it's going to be the perfect fuel for me to get through the rest of my 24 hours, at least for now. I'm only allowed to drink a certain amount of caffeine a day, so if I need another one, we might have to make it one more, but I'm going to try to keep it to one per day. I was going to update you right here, but Bailey decided that now this is her spot instead of my spot, so I'm going to head upstairs and get comfortable, and then I'll give you an update about my book. Okay, it's update time. Hopefully the ambient noise is not too loud in the background, but like I said, I am 100 pages into Percy Jackson, The Last Olympian, and it's crazy how much I remember from this series, having read it when I was in middle school. But everything about this series is just so nostalgic. I love it, and the audiobook for this particular book in the series is way better than the last one that I listened to. The last one was insanely immature, and this one has a better balance, I feel like. I'm really enjoying the story so far. We're finally getting to the big bad prophecy that has been hinted at throughout the entirety of the series, so I'm really looking forward to finishing this one up. I started with this one because even though it's quite a chunky book, I think it's over 400 pages. Let's see. I'm pretty sure it's over 400 pages, but because it's shorter and stouter, it doesn't take that long. It's actually only 381 pages, so not as long as I thought it was. But the pages go fast. I was only sitting down for an hour reading, and I'm already 100 pages in, so hopefully everything will go to plan and I can finish this one up relatively soon. And I think I might switch over to a romance and then go back to YA after I've had a little bit of a break from the middle grade YA age range. So that's my goal. I'm going to sit down and drink my coffee, listen to more of this one, follow along with the book, and see how much I can get done before I get tired of sitting down. And then I'm going to get up and do some cleaning around the house while listening to the audiobooks. So I'll keep you updated. So far, so good. I'm also going to do an unboxing soon because I have an Owlcrate I have to open. But we'll get there when we get there. the fan is not too loud, but I am sweating, so I'm leaving it on. But I wanted to give my final thoughts on Percy Jackson and the Last Olympian. As you guys saw from the clips before, I cried like a big old baby reading this book. There was just so many like wholesome things that happened towards the end of this that just tugged on my heartstrings, and I'm gonna blame it on the pregnancy emotions, but it was very, very good. I really enjoyed it. I loved seeing the end of these characters and the setup for new characters that are coming into this world. I haven't read any other books in the Rick Riordan world in regards to Camp Half-Blood and everything that goes on from there, but I do know that I've heard really good things about it. But I think that it was a perfect setup while also having this really wonderful ending for these characters that you've grown to love and root for and want the best for. But there's definitely some really sad things happening in there that I just was not prepared for. I was talking about how like I remembered all of this book earlier, and then we got to the end and I'm like, I don't remember any of this. Why are you hurting my soul? So I cried way more than I thought I was going to. So there you go. I'm happy I read it. One series down, which is honestly incredible. I have been working on this series since April of 2020, so it's been a long time coming. It's time for me to finally shelve this and put this away and not have to worry about this series anymore, and I had a great time with it. So, book one down. I think I'm going to relax for, I don't know, like 10-15 minutes. I think I'm at the 20.5-hour mark, so 3.5 hours down with reading, so honestly not bad at all. Got a lot of reading done and finished a book. So, still have a long way to go, but I'm going to shower, relax for about 30 minutes, and then I'm going to pop on an audiobook and clean my room, and that'll be something entirely different video. I might include some clips in this video, I might not, but I am working on a clean with me video, so I'm working on like 3 videos all at the same time right now, and it's a lot. But anyways, I am gonna do that, and I will check in with you guys once I have either started a new book or finished another book. I'm not sure how much I'm going to update because I don't know how long I want this video to be, but we're going to work on it. And I'll check in with you guys when I have an update. The lighting in here is absolutely horrid, so I apologize for that, but I am gonna lay in bed until I have to go into the book room. I'm gonna get on the phone with a friend at 6:30, so I have a little bit of time just to relax and rest before I eventually get back to reading. But I do have an update for you. I have finished my second book of this vlog, and that is Challenge by Amy Dawes, the first book in the Harris Brothers series. I loved it. Excuse me? I took that opportunity to try to get it a little bit lighter in here. I don't think it worked. Anyways, I finished the first book in the series and I absolutely loved it. This one follows Camden and I want to say Vi, but that's his sister's name. Why can't I think of her name? I can't think of her name. But she is a doctor. She is a very young doctor. She's also a virgin, and she has like this criteria of how and what she's going to do when she loses her virginity. It's called the penis list, where she basically is trying to find 3 different guys that fit a certain criteria for her to have sexual experiences with, and then finally settle down with the last person. But then she meets Camden, who is a soccer player. At the beginning of the book, he injures himself on the field and has to have a really career-threatening surgery, and the two of them have an undeniable connection, and they decide, well, things just kind of happen and they end up in a very inappropriate relationship. He is a patient, she is a doctor, but they just can't hide their attraction, and they decide to have just a sexual relationship. No feelings, no emotions. Camden does not really like relationships. He's not a girlfriend type person, and I can't remember her name. And she doesn't want anything at all relationship-wise either. She just wants sex so she can move on to the next person on her penis list. She is very vocal about what she wants, so there's no like questions there, but obviously real relationships start to form, and it's amazing. I love this series, and I love these side characters so much, and we get to see a lot of them throughout the entirety of the series, so I'm really happy that I read it. 5 out of 5 stars. It was a quick read. I still have 18 hours of reading left, so plenty of reading to get done still, but I'm really glad that I finished that one up. Making progress on another series that I'm currently in the middle of. I'm happy about that. My next book that I'm going to read is going to be Heatwave by TJ Klune, but I will start that when I get on the phone with Mike. I also wanted to do a quick Owlcrate unboxing, so let's go ahead and open this up. The theme this month is A Study in Shadows, and this is what it looks like. Very pretty. The first thing that we have here, I don't really know what it is, but it says, you can justify anything if you do it poetically enough. That's what it looks like, and then it unfolds. Oh, it's like a glasses case, maybe? That's what I'm gonna think it is. Yeah, it's a glasses holder, which I do have a pair of blue light glasses in my car, but the holder that I had actually got ripped up by my dog, so this is actually perfect. I will definitely get some use out of this. We have the next installments in the luggage pin series. This one is inspired by Gallant by V.E. Schwab. That's what it looks like. Very pretty. Then we have a Zodiac Academy ID card case. Cool. Actually really cool. It is inspired, like it says, by Zodiac Academy. Aqua, Terra, Ignis, and Era. These are the houses that you get sectioned off into once you awaken. So really cool. It tells you how to put the ID in there, and then it also becomes a keychain. So that's really cool. Then we have Alexandrian Society. This is inspired by The Alice 6 by Livy Blake. And you have a little lunchbox, some utensils that come with it. These are really cute. They're plastic utensils. They look like this. And there's also a little thing, which I'm guessing you put over the top of it to make sure that the lid stays closed. So another very cool tool. I will definitely get some use out of this as well once I'm, like, you know, back at work and needing to pack a lunch. But that is very cute. Then we have the additional book, The Secret Garden. They're doing them all in this particular classic style. So it says on the back, if you look the right way, you can see the whole world is a garden. I've actually never read this classic, so this might be one that I'm tempted to keep. I don't read a lot of classics, but I might give it a try. We have a wooden bookmark in here. This side says something in a language I don't know, and from knowledge comes vengeance, and the back side says beauty is terror. And then finally we have the Owlcrate little booklet, the theme for next month. The theme for next month, which is the dark heart of the forest. That's what that looks like, and it looks like next month's will include a reading planner, 2022 reading planner, but they don't have dates, I don't believe. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what the book is. I've never heard of this book, but the cover is absolutely stunning. It is The Whispering Dark. Look how cool that looks. He was a paper moth in the dark, and she was a light. Oh my gosh, this is stunning. The end papers, gorgeous. We have some embossing on the front and the back. And then obviously some art underneath the dust jacket. This is absolutely stunning. And then of course it should be signed by the author. Love that signing page, very pretty. This says, Delaney always talked to the dark. She never expected it to talk back. Delaney is tired of being seen as fragile just because she's deaf. So when she's accepted into a prestigious program that trains students to slip between parallel worlds, she's excited for the chance to prove herself. But her semester gets off on a rocky start, and she faces professors who won't accommodate her disability, and pretentious upperclassmen fascinated by Delaney's unusual talents. Colton died when he was 9 years old. He woke several weeks later at the feet of a green-eyed little girl. Now 12 years later, Delaney has stumbled back into his orbit, but Colton's been ordered to keep far away from the new girl, and the voices she hears calling to her from the shadows. Delaney wants to keep her distance from Colton, so she seems to be the only person on campus who finds him more arrogant than charming. Yet after a student turns up dead, she and Colton are forced to form a tenuous alliance. But Delaney and Colton discover the cost of opening the doors between worlds when they find themselves up against something old and nameless, an enemy that needs to be destroyed before it tears apart their forbidden partnership. Interesting. It is told by a own voices author as well. The author is also deaf. This is really cool. I'm loving a book with disability. It also sounds creepy and eerie. Perfect for Halloween and October, which is perfect for this particular box since it's the October box, but a little bit past that. that time frame, but very cool. Thank you so much to Owlcrate for sending this over to me. If you are interested, I always have my Owlcrate code listed down in the description box below if you want to get 15% off of your first box. But I'm going to put all this stuff away, get ready to get on the phone with Mike, and I will give you guys an update when I'm done being on the phone with him and see how far I got into Heatwave. So I will update you then. Friends, I have 17 hours and 21 minutes left of the 24-hour readathon. I have more reading to do tonight, so don't worry. That number will drop down a little bit more before I head off to bed. But I feel bamboozled, okay? I started Heatwave by Mr. T.J. Klune, and somebody's lying to me. I'm being lied to, and I don't fucking like it. And I'm so confused. I was buddy reading this with my friend Mike, and I made him get to the part where, like, we realized we're being lied to, and both of us are so fucking confused. So I texted Clint, because he has finished this book already, and I'm like, excuse me? And I obviously don't want to spoil anything, because it's the third book in a series, but, like, what the fuck is happening? Like, I need answers. I'm 100 pages in now, and I'm still just as confused as I started after chapter 2, like the end of chapter 2. Things are confusing, and I am now like well into the book, and it is still just as confusing, and I don't like any of it. I don't like any of it, and I'm pissed, and I need answers, and there's now one particular character that I just cannot trust, and it makes me upset. So I'm hoping that it's not what I think that it is, but I think that I know what it is, and I'm not ready. I am not ready, so I'm gonna go hang out with my husband for a little while longer, and then I'm determined to finish this book, because I'm so angry. So I will let you guys know more thoughts as I read. I'll keep you updated, but I'll talk to you then, and I'm gonna go hang out with my husband. Hopefully he can talk me down from the ledge, because I don't understand what's happening. Don't mind the backlighting. I need the window open. It's so hot in here, and it's very, very cold outside, which is great, but I wanted to give you guys a update since I didn't really update you last night where I left off. But I am halfway through Heatwave. I have 16 hours left of reading, so still a ways to go. Even if I were to read from 8 to 8 today, which is 8 o'clock right now, I would still have 4 hours left. So this is turning out to be a lot harder than I thought that it was going to be, but I'm still having a good time, and I have a lot of books that I still need to finish, so there's that. But this book is so good. I'm still not as confused, but I'm still like really on the edge of my seat and gripped by the story. I'm pissed now, but things are moving and grooving, and things are definitely happening, and I have so many questions. So I'm gonna finish this one up right now. I'm gonna just sit down and finish up the rest of this. I'm on chapter 12, page 203, and I believe this is 381 pages, so have about 180 pages to go. So that's my plan for now, and then I'm going to do some laundry this morning, clean the dishes, listen to Over the Opponent by Katie Robert, and see how much of that I can get done while I'm doing chores. And then I have the 2 physical books in that series, and then 1 more audiobook only that I'll have to do something while I listen to that. And then I have a lot like Adios by Alexis Daria, which I'm hoping to read 2 Wicked Villains books, then the Alexis Daria book, then 2 more Wicked Villains books, and if I have extra time, maybe the graphic novel in the Villains series, so that when I read Vengeful this month, I can be done with that series entirely. So those are my plans. I'm tired. I made myself some chai tea this morning because my throat was hurting, so It's a warm kind of mug day. I got my candle going, so without further ado, let's get into it.
Drinks I can't afford, annoyed by little things, wanna kick people out the door. Well, so maybe I'll go to hell. Don't watch me go. Yeah, maybe I'll go to hell. Don't watch me go. I guess you can never tell. You never know if you'll go to hell. Say you burn forever now. Will it hurt forever? Or will I get used to the pain? They say you burn forever in hell. Will it hurt forever? Or will I get used to the pain? When will these clouds go away? Turn into rain. And when will the stars in my head do good instead? I wanna fly away, fly to a place where all the clouds go away and turn to rain.
The lighting in this video is just terrible all around. I'm so sorry. But I finished Heat Wave. Oh my gosh, it was everything. It was perfection. It was beautiful. It was a great ending to a series, and I cannot. There were tears. Apparently ending a series make me cry because there were tears. Oh my gosh. I loved this. So good. 5 out of 5 stars. These characters, the story arc, the angst, the tension throughout the entire book was just unmatched. There were so many times where I was confused, but also thought I knew what was going on, and then I didn't. TJ Klune kept me on the edge of my seat. Honestly, why am I surprised? TJ Klune has never steered me wrong, and I have never given his book less than 5 stars. So, oh my gosh. I'm so glad I finally finished the series. It's definitely a favorite. Oh my gosh, it was so good. It was so good. The characters, the representation, the lessons that you can learn from these books. It's just written so beautifully well done. Everything about it is legitimately perfection, and I'm so happy that I read it. Oh my gosh. Oh wow, that was so good. So I'm gonna take a quick break. I'm gonna take Bailey outside to go to the restroom, and then I'm gonna come back and pop in the audiobook for the next book in the Wicked Villain series, get some chores done around the house, and I will update you when I have another update. But I'm so happy that I loved it. Okay, I'm a sweaty hot mess, so ignore that, but I just finished up my downstairs chores for the day. I still have 12 hours and 51 minutes left of this 24-hour readathon. I don't know what I was thinking, but I thought this process would go by faster, but I guess a full 24 hours is still a full 24 hours, no matter what you're doing. So, I have not showered yet, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to take a little bit of a break, and then I'm going to get back to reading, what am I reading? A Worthy Opponent. This is the 3rd book in the Wicked Villain series. This one follows Tink and Hook, and Tink is in a very interesting situation. You learn kind of more about her experience in the first 2 books, but you don't really dive into the backstory until you get into this one. But basically, she has a contract with Hades in the underground like playroom that they have, where everyone comes to do nefarious deeds. It's basically just a big sex club, and Tink has worked there for the past 5 years. But as you're coming to the end of Jasmine and Jafar's story, it's mentioned, as well as to the end of Meg, Hercules, and Hades' story, you know that Tink's contract ends in 2 months, and in this particular story it's 2 days before the end of her contract, and she's trying to figure out what she can do in order to stay safe from the reasons why she left and got into this contract in the first place. And Hook offers her a way out. She doesn't want to take it. She doesn't want to be back into the life that she had once left, and the person that she's running from is Peter Pan. But just totally lost my train of thought. But she decides that she has no other choice, and so his deal is to marry him in order for protection, and she takes it. And it's a relationship between the two of them. So far, it's good. We've already had a scene happen in the underworld, which is that club, and it happened between Beast, Gaston, someone that I don't know, and then Hook as well. And it was hot, it was sexy. Katie Robert writes really, really good smut, so I'm not surprised. But so far, so good. I'm liking it. It's very entertaining. I like this series. I think I prefer the Dark Olympus series over Wicked Villain, just because these ones are shorter and I feel like I don't get enough time with the characters, but I'm still having a good time with it. So I'm going to take my little break, and I will get back to reading in a little bit. But at this point, I know I'm not going to finish the 24 hours by the end of today, so it's going to have to go again until tomorrow. So let's hope baby doesn't come before then, and I can finish up the full 24 hours. But hopefully you guys are somewhat enjoying this project experience. It's been fun for me. I'm getting a lot of reading done, which is great. So I'm having a great time. Hopefully you're having a great time, and I will update you when I have another update to give. Alright, y'all, I got very, very distracted. My husband came home, I ate. I had a package delivered for the nursery, so I had to get that all figured out, and my dad came to help my husband with that. So that took up a good portion of the time that I should have been reading. And then I went out for a walk with my husband because the doctor says I should, even though I hate it. So now I'm in a lot of pain and I'm really tired, but I definitely want to continue this. It just might bleed into tomorrow a little more than I was expecting. So I currently have what is apparently 1% left of a worthy opponent. I didn't realize I was so close to the end, but I'm at 99% with 3 minutes left. so I'm going to finish this, and then I'm going to move on to the Sea Witch, I think is the next one, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm going to move on to that one, and then see how much progress I can make in that one today, and then see how much time I'll have left. I have 11 hours and 35 minutes, so still a long way to go, but we'll see. So I'll keep you updated. Good morning, y'all. I'm not gonna lie, I contemplated just scrapping this entire video last night because it is day 3 and we are still here. But I have my coffee, my much needed coffee. It's so good. It brings me joy every morning, and I love it so much. And if you made it to this part of the video, I'm just renaming this video entirely, How Long Does It Actually Take for Someone to Read for a Full 24 Hours? Because I still have 9 hours left on the clock. Yeah, you heard me right, 9 hours. I'm having fun. I started reading The Beast last night. I am, let's see, 210 pages in, so I'm almost to the end of this one. After I read this one, I'm going to pick up A Lot Like Adios, and that'll be one more series that I can 100% complete during this video, because it's only one more book in the series, and I'll be done. And then I will go back to the Wicked Villain series. I know that these are repetitive, but honestly, I just enjoy them. I like Katie Roberts' relationship issues that she puts into her books, and I love the smut, and I'm having a great time. It's not that I'm not enjoying it. It's just like, I thought I would be done with this video by now. Like, I can't believe we're on day 3 and I'm still here, but it's okay. I'm going to finish it. I'm going to be a trooper, and I'm going to finish these last 9 hours, because fuck me, I committed to it, and I am, I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to do it. I have a couple errands to run today, so I will also be listening to some audiobooks on my way. I'm actually going to go to work. I'm going to go to work and drop off a check, and then I might, maybe, walk around Barnes & Noble. We'll see. I don't need to buy any more books, but I want to. That's the problem. It's always a problem, right? So I'm going to get some more reading done, hopefully finish this one up before I head out, and then I will bring you along if I decide to go to Barnes & Noble, because who doesn't love seeing a good Barnes & Noble B-roll?
Too scared to trust you and jump down. I'll keep my status quo up here, won't let anybody come near. I'll fix it on my own. 29 years I've been the same, trying so hard to run from shame. But how long can I keep up the pace? To fool myself I don't need grace. Will you be there to catch my fall? Need to be sure you'll hear my...
Okay, friends, so I have another update for you. I just finished The Beast by Katie Robert. I ended up giving this one a 4.5 out of 5 stars. I thought that it was really well done. I really enjoy her books where she does polyamorous relationships. I think she just writes those particular relationship dynamics really, really well. And I enjoy, books that are just two people, but something about relationships that have more than two character dynamics that you have to balance really well while making it feel like it's not rushed is one of my favorite things to read. So that's why I really enjoy why I choose romances, because you get so many more character dynamics to have to play out and to work through in order to make these relationships work, and I really enjoyed that in her books. So I enjoyed this one. I think that it was well done. I liked the characters. I liked the difference between Gaetan and Beast, but also how they balance really well with Isabel and her dynamic as well. I also really enjoy the connectivity of these books and how each book really does build upon the world and the lore of this particular world, seeing as the Wicked Villain series and the Dark Olympus series are created to work in tandem. I think it's just really interesting to watch these characters play out. However, I think this world is set years in the past, possibly. I don't exactly know what's going on, because the second book in the series is a Hades, Meg, and Hercules, whereas the first book in the Dark Olympus series is Hades and Persephone. So there's obviously two different Hades that are living, and they're not living in the same timeline. So I know that Katie Robert has a newsletter somewhere that shares how these are connected, but I haven't had a chance to read it. But that's one more book down in this series, which is awesome. I have 2 more left in this series to finish it, but I am going to go ahead and get dressed, take a shower. Well, that's backwards. Take a shower, then get dressed, and head out to run my errands. I'm going to listen to a lot audios on the way there. I'm keeping my expectations low for this book because I really did not enjoy book 1, but I want to finish out the series, and I was given a free ARC and a giveaway for that particular book, so I might as well give it a go, and hopefully I enjoy it. I might not like it, but I guess we'll find out. We'll never know unless I read it, so I'm going to give that one a go, and then when I come back home, my goal is to finish up the last 2 books in the Wicked Villain series, and that'll be 4 series done for this 24-hour reading. 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll be 4 series completed and 1 more series that I continued with. So I'll take it. I like it. I will give you guys an update when I have one, and I will talk to you then. Hello, friends. I am coming up here to give you an update. I just finished another book. I literally didn't talk to you about it at all during this process because I literally just listened to the audiobook, but I did read the entirety of A Lot Like Adios by Alexis Daria, and it was okay. It was fine. I followed 2 characters that were best friends growing up and wrote fan fiction together, and they had one high encounter together and tried to deepen their relationship into something more sexual, at least. And then he leaves they live in New York, he leaves for LA because he wants to get out of his family's clutches, and he essentially ghosts her for 13 years. She's tried to reach out in the past, doesn't end up getting anything from him. And then through a chance opportunity, his company that he owns a gym, the partner he works with reaches out to her because she's had really huge success in marketing, not knowing that he has known her and has had an estranged past with her, and they end up being reconnected, and they end up having to work together, but then it becomes a relationship and they end up fake dating and blah blah blah. I don't know, it was okay. I liked it more than You Had Me at Ola, but it wasn't that great. I would probably give it like a 3.5 stars. It was okay. The relationship got very sexual very early on, and it didn't leave like a lot of angst for the characters because they were already in bed together, and I don't know, it just didn't feel like there was a lot of push and pull. I didn't feel the connection. I didn't feel the chemistry between the two of them, so it just didn't feel very authentic and real. And that's the problem that I had with Alexis Daria's other book, and I just think that she's not a writer for me. So maybe if she writes something that's not in this world, that's completely different, and has a really good synopsis, then I'll give her another try. But other than that, I think she's not the author for me. So I have 4 hours and 44 minutes left of this 24-hour readathon. It feels like this is going to go on forever, but we only have essentially 5 hours left. I'm going to listen to The Sea Witch, which I do have the physical copy of, so I'm going to listen to that one. This is Ursula and Ariel, and then someone named Alaric, who I do not know who that is, but we're about to find out, and I believe it's a threesome between the three of them. So we got a little bit more of Ursula's backstory, which she's called Ursa in this book. We got a little bit more of, not really of her backstory, but she's definitely the villain in this world. And the other female character, I don't remember what her name is, Zoya or something like that. She is about to make a deal with Ursula. So we'll see how all that plays out, but I'm going to sit down and listen to this, relax. I got the audiobook on Hoopla, so hopefully I can bump it up to 3.5 and get through this one a little bit faster. And then I have the last book, which is 8 Hours, Queen Takes Rose. I think that one's Aurora's book, because we have followed Aurora in the past. I think that's her book. And that'll be the last one. And I will have finished my entire set TBR. That'll be 8 books down. 8 books down. So we'll see how it goes. I'll give you guys an update when I have one.
Darkness around me, and I don't know why it's so hard to let go. Why it's so hard to let go.
Okay, friends, so this is the final stretch. I apologize if you can hear the truck outside. I don't know what they're doing, but they've been there for like 30 minutes, and I would like to get to reading. Bailey's joining me here, but I could have finished this last night, but I wanted to finish it in like the light of day, where I could actually film my reactions to finally finishing a full 24 hours of reading. So as you can see, I have 2 hours and 30 minutes left, and I have one last book on my TBR, and that is Queen Takes Rose. I did go out and buy this today. That's what I went to pick up at Barnes & Noble. I also picked up a copy of A Very Merry Bromance, which is not on this TBR, but definitely a book that I wanted to add to my collection, so really glad that I picked this up. I didn't even know it was out yet. I thought it came out later in the month, so I'm glad that I snagged myself a copy. But I'm gonna read Queen Takes Rose. It's an 8-hour audiobook, so if I listen to it at 3 times speed, I should be able to finish it in the 2.5 hours. However, I don't know exactly if I'll be able to do that, like, to a T, so we will see. I believe this book follows Aurora, and, I don't know who, Malone, and I believe Malone is supposed to be, like, the evil witch, but I didn't know that that was her name. I don't know if that's, like, a reimagining, if she's changed the names on that, I have no idea, but, I thought the Maleficent was the, I guess it would be weird for them to be called Maleficent. But anyways, Malone and Aurora. So I would like Aurora. We have seen a lot of her throughout the series. She is a very interesting submissive in the underworld, and I love her. I think she's snarky, and she's just fun. She's just a fun character. She has a lot of personality, but she's also a very, very good submissive. So she is one that I'm really interested in following. So we'll see how all of this plays out, but last book on the TBR, 2.5 hours. I'm going to sit down and knock this out. My husband went to a meeting, so it's just me and Bailey today. And I'm going to try to do my best. So I will give you an update when I'm about halfway through. Oh, I also finished, what's that one called? The Sea Witch last night. And I liked it. I didn't actually like this one as much as I thought I was going to. Seeing as this one was a polyamorous relationship, I thought I was going to like it more. But I feel like it was less... There was less plot in this one. It was just a lot of sex, which is fine for a novella of this size. I just, like, when I'm reading all the rest of the books in this series, and a lot of them have a little bit more plot and a little bit more like revenge schemes going on. It just feels more, I don't know, there's more to it, and that one didn't have as much to it. So I did give it a 4 stars. It's not like I didn't like it at all. I loved it. I didn't like it as much as the rest of the books in the series. Everything else has gotten 4.5, and this one has gotten, and that one got 4. So we'll see what this one gets. But yeah, I'm done blabbering on. Let's do this. I'm honestly kind of nervous. It's been 4 days of filming this video, so it's about to come to an end, and I don't know what I'm gonna do with myself after, honestly.
The line. You'll ask why I wasted my time, and I'll say I didn't know better, but the truth is I was weak and scared, afraid of the blame. 29 years I've been the same, trying so hard to run from shame, and I will not keep up the pace. To fool myself I don't need grace. Will you be there to catch my fall? Need to be sure you hear my call.
Okay friends, the 24-hour readathon is officially over. Really, it was more like a how many days does it take to read 24 hours worth of reading, but I did it and I was able to complete my entire TBR that I wanted to complete during this week. So I figured I would just come, wrap everything up, give you my quick thoughts on all the books in case I didn't talk about them in much detail during the actual reading portion. Honestly, while doing this video, it's sometimes hard to remember which books you talk about in detail and which books you don't. So just a quick recap of everything that I've read, and then we will close out this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have done this in the past and you have read a full 24 hours worth of reading, please let me know how it went. How did you do? How many days did it take you? Because for me, it took 4 days, and I was not expecting that. I thought I was going to get this video done quick, easy, over with. That was not the case. So let me know if you've done this, how long it took you, and if you do this in the future, come back and let me know, because I want to know. I want to know that I'm not alone. This was as hard for somebody else as it was for me, because boy, did I struggle. So the first book that I read in this 24 hours was Percy Jackson and the Last Olympian. I love this book. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. I thought it was so well done, a great completion to the series, and just really a nostalgic read for me. I love these characters. I love this world, and I think that Rick Riordan did a great job at finishing off these characters, but also using this as a great opportunity to set up more books in this world following different characters. So I really enjoyed this one. It was so good, and I'm finally done with the series. I have been reading the series since April of 2020, so to be able to be done with this just means so much to me, because I have been working on the series for far too long, and I'm so glad that it's over. Then I read Challenge by Amy Dawes, the first book in the Harris Brothers series, the third book in the series that I have read, and I really enjoyed this one as well. I think I gave it a 4.5 out of 5 stars. Really enjoyed this one. It was fast-paced, it was fun. I liked the characters, I liked the inappropriate relationship that was happening between a doctor and a patient. I think taboo relationships are just so much fun, and I had a great time with this one. I think the characters were not my favorite in the books that I have read so far. I definitely still prefer the last 2 books in the series to these particular 2 characters, but I had a great time with it, and it was just as fun as I remember her writing being, so I'm glad that I read it. I just need to read 2 more books in the series to finish everything up, and I'm glad that I'm moving on with the series. Then I moved on to Heatwave by TJ Klune. Really enjoyed this conclusion to the series, another 5 out of 5 stars. It was so well done. Everything about TJ Klune's writing and his characters just really speaks to my soul, and every time I finish up a series of his, it always feels so rewarding and so worthwhile, and this is definitely no exception. I love these characters. I loved how twisty and turny this book was and how it kept me on the edge of my seat throughout the entirety of the books, and I just had so much fun with these. So I'm so glad that I read this. It was just everything that I wanted it to be, and I cannot wait to read more TJ Klune in the future. I am currently in the middle of another one of his series, so I know that I will have plenty of TJ Klune to read, but I'm just really glad that I finished up this one because it has been haunting me. Now, I split this up between the rest of the video, but I did read the entirety of what was left of the Wiccan Villain series by Katie Robert. Everything that I had read in this series in this video got either a 4 or a 4.5 stars. I really enjoyed all of these books. I thought they were great. They were fun. They were quick. They were fast-paced. The smut, top tier per usual. I did prefer her polyamorous relationships in these books to just a regular, 2-person relationship. I just feel like she writes those dynamics really well. I think out of all of them, I think I enjoyed The Beast the best out of all of them, but I had a great time with all 4 books in the series that I read. So I read A Worthy Opponent, The Beast, The Sea Witch, Queen Takes Rose, I think that's all the ones I read. And I enjoyed them all. So I'm really glad that I finished off the series. I think technically there is a short story collection that goes in this world, but I'm not counting it as part of the series. So that's another series done and completed. And I'm really happy because I am in the middle of a lot of Katie Roberts series right now, and I'm glad to have this one finally completed. And the last and final book that we have to talk about is A Lot Like Audios by Alexis Daria. This one was not a favorite of this video by any means. I gave it a 3-star. It was fine. Actually, I think I gave it a 3.5. It was still just fine. This is not a book that I will keep on my shelves for a long period of time. I'm only keeping it because I don't want there to be a huge gap in my rainbow bookshelf over there. So it'll stay on my shelves until I find something else to replace it with. But I just think that it was okay. It wasn't my favorite. I didn't enjoy really the chemistry between the two characters. There was a lot of missed opportunity in regards to relationship dynamic that the author could have done better, in my opinion. I just didn't feel like the characters really had a good amount of chemistry, and I feel like they fell into bed together too quickly to have a real push and pull advantage to the story that kept you wanting to turn the pages. But it was a quick read. I did read it in a day. It wasn't like it took me forever, but it was mostly because I wanted to get it done and I was on a clock. If it wasn't for that, it probably would have taken me a little longer to finish this book, honestly. But like I said, it was okay. I don't know if I would recommend it. Traditionally published romances haven't really been doing it for me recently, so I'm not surprised that I didn't love this one, especially since I didn't love the first book in the series. But I was willing to give it a try, and I have decided to DNF the series because when I looked it up on Goodreads, there is one more book coming out in this world, and I will not be reading it. So another series down, but technically not completed, just DNF'd. Okay, so here was my entire physical, at least TBR, for the 24-hour readathon, including Challenge by Amy Dawes and A Worthy Opponent by Katie Roberts. I enjoyed most of the books that I read in this video, except for one. Other than that, I think that it was a great experience for me. I'm glad that I used it to get a lot of books off my TBR, as well as a lot of series completed and continued, so I'm really glad that I did this. Was it hard? Yes, but I felt like it was worth it in the end. Let me know if you read any of these books and what you thought of them. I would love to hear your thoughts. Also, let me know how you thought this video went and if you want to see me do it again in the future. But that is the end of this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to give it a big old thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave. And of course, leave any comments, questions, and suggestions in the comment section below. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.
Thanks, baby. Turn it down, make it sweet and ready. Boys, keep it nice and steady.